Welcome to another edition of 3 Things in Biotech You Should Learn Today, a daily digest dedicated to helping you keep pace with the fast-moving world of pharmaceutical and biotechnology research. Pfizer expands its first immunotherapy approval into Europe. Pfizer NYSE, despite being one of the big 5 pioneers in immunotherapy, has been somewhat behind in the race to capitalize in areas where competitors like Merck NYSE and Bristol Myers Squibb NYSE have dominated over the past few years. This is why its first indication seen through to approval for avelumab was a work of art. This agent was studied in and given the nod for treatment of a rare skin cancer called Merkel cell carcinoma, which no other immune checkpoint inhibitor developer has yet reached into late-stage development with. So it's unsurprising, yet important, to note that PFE has moved forward and gotten approval for the same indication in Europe. Of course, this is still the first immune checkpoint approved for Merkel cell carcinoma there, as well. Looking forward, this is going to be one of the big frontiers for the upstart, NONPD1 immune checkpoint inhibitors to explore therapeutic areas that aren't currently being touched by the dominating players. And the strategy has paid off well for PFE, and it's very likely going to pay off for other competitors like AstraZeneca NYSE-AZN in spaces like advanced lung cancer. So it would be worth paying attention to some of PFE's other trials in these non-sexy areas of cancer, which are nevertheless significant unmet needs. Ordance steps onto the clinical stage in a congenital muscle malady. Ordance Therapeutics NASDAQBOLD is a self-styled bold risk-taker in the space of gene therapies for extremely rare, severe congenital diseases, which would place it in good company with a growing field of rapidly expanding technologies to address inherited disorders. The first major disease Bold is pursuing is X-linked myotubular myopathy, a congenital disorder caused by mutation in MTM1, leading to severe, debilitating wasting of the musculature in affected boys. Using adeno-associated viruses, Bold hopes to correct and replace the offending gene and slow down or reverse the myopathy experienced in these patients. And now it's officially clinical stage. Bold announced that the first patients with X-linked myotubular myopathy have been dosed in their Phase 12 ASPIRO study, which the company hopes will enroll 12 patients under the age of 5. Looking forward, it's very exciting to witness the potential dawn of effective and safe gene therapy for devastating diseases caused by a single genetic misstep. Certainly, for Bold it's a big step, since just getting to clinical trials is a major undertaking for a new biotech venture. Recruiting just 12 patients with the disease might also prove difficult, given the rarity of the disorder. However, since the trial is being conducted in multiple countries, hopefully Bold will find a clear path to finding out the utility of this approach. Janssen and MorphoSys collab now in late-stage investigations for arthritis. A licensing agreement between Janssen, a subsidiary of Johnson & Johnson NYSE J&J, and MorphoSys OTCPK-MPSYF has led to the development and recent approval of guselkumab for the treatment of psoriasis. This interleukin-23 blocker is now approved for patients with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis if they are appropriate candidates for systemic therapy. The next step is to move this anti-cytokine therapy into other indications, the next most obvious perhaps being psoriatic arthritis, due to the similar origins of these diseases. Recently, J&J and MPSYF have moved in just that direction. MPSYF announced via press release that J&J has initiated 2 Phase 3 trials involving guselkumab, with a basis rooted in highly positive Phase 2 data showing improvement in a variety of rheumatic endpoints, along with favorable safety. Looking forward, the licensing arrangement has ended up being a good gamble for the two companies. J&J has on its hand a potential blockbuster rheumatology medication, and MPSYF gets rare validation for a new technological platform, along with capital to see through its other products in clinical development. It seems highly likely at this time, as far as anyone can ever be sure, that guselkumab will yield a significant improvement in psoriatic arthritis, so these trials are going to be worth watching. Thank you for tuning into this digest. If you found it helpful at all, I hope you will consider becoming a follower of mine on Seeking Alpha, as this will allow you to receive real-time email updates when new articles of mine go live, including new editions of 3 Things. Disclosure: IWE have no positions in any stocks mentioned, and no plans to initiate any positions within the next 72 hours. I wrote this article myself, and it expresses my own opinions. I am not receiving compensation for it other than from Seeking Alpha. I have no business relationship with any company whose stock is mentioned in this article. Editors note this article discusses one or more securities that do not trade on a major U.S. exchange. Please be aware of the risks associated with these stocks.